The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
G'day, I'm ready for my next bet with Winston. He hasn't paid on the last one, by the way. It was $100 to the charity of our choice. I said he wouldn't get 5% at the election, so bet number 2 is he still won't get 5% despite his comeback, if that's what you want to call it, over the weekend. He hit the Australian media last week and gave the government a good serve over the vaccine rollout, and it's not like he doesn't have a lot of material to play with. I mean, given his position in the last government, he can point to a lot of highly contentious and weird stuff that's gone on post the vote that would never have seen the light of day if he'd still been there now. But here is what's different this time. 1, he's old or even older. 2, there is clearly no succession plan. 3, people are sick of him and New Zealand first. 4, once you lose, it's awfully hard to come back. 5, the fact he was in such a powerful position last time was for no other reason than a quirk of the MMP system. You not only have to get 5%, but you also need to be just in that sweet spot that makes you relevant. In other words, no one can form a government without you. You are the kingmaker. The chances of that happening again, slim to none. Oh, and 6, the party's performance in government was abysmal. It was a shocking ad for a pure MMP coalition. The best they had was a miserable lineup of stuff they had stopped. The stuff they progressed, like the PGF, was a shambles, a monumental waste of money, and that stuff haunts you. You can also argue that Winston looks like a sad old man who doesn't know how to let go. He lost. He refused to speak to anyone in a kind of I'm sulking sort of fashion. You would have expected him to go gracefully into retirement, having made a fairly significant contribution to the political landscape over several decades. But oh no, here's another one that never seems to learn. He'd counter, I'm sure, by saying, look, he's been written off before, and that part is true, but back then, he was young. Back then, he didn't have a shambolic term of government under his belt, and back then, people hadn't woken up to the New Zealand First scam. If he wants another hundy, I'm in. But it's easy money. I'd almost feel bad taking the bet.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.